Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, Donovan, again. Sorry, you've probably been wondering where the fuck I've been for the last, who knows, month or so, but I'm here again for another upload, and as you can see, I got the new guitar, a new Bay, and it's a standard, actually, no, not standard, it's a Custom Pro Epiphone Les Paul, so it sounds really good, and yeah. But anyways, I'm here for an upload talking about the Mayhem Festival 2014. Now, the festival, I believe, kicked off in San Bernardino, California yesterday, and of course I didn't attend because I'll get to that right now, but let's talk about the lineup, because the lineup consisted of Korn, Avenged Sevenfold, Cannibal Corpse, Body Count, Il Nino, Mushroomhead, Suicide Silence, core bands, etc. So a bunch of other core bands and shit like that. And I'm actually really glad my sister went yesterday, because she's actually more kind of open-minded with the bands that went there, because she's a big fan of, well, she's a kind of a Cannibal Corpse fan, but I know that she likes El Nino, and she might have maybe liked the other bands over there, but of course that's why I didn't go, because I'm not going to go to a Mayhem festival when the lineup only consists of 3 good bands, and they're not even going to be placed on the bill, even as a headliner or a co-headliner, because you had Cannibal Corpse, who have been around longer than any of these bands possible. Them and Cannibal Corpse and Body Count, being 2 of the oldest bands out of the whole damn lineup, being on, like, somewhere in between on the bill, and they're only playing at least like 6 or 7 songs each. Now, I just think that's kind of ridiculous, because all the other bands are probably, they consider Cannibal Corpse a huge influence. Who knows if they do or not, but I just feel like they should have at least got placed higher on the bill, maybe even as headliners or co-headliners, you know? And the reason why I didn't go is just because it was only 3 good bands that I would have only went for. Them, you know, including Cannibal Corpse, Body Count, and Il Nino. Now, a lot of you probably don't like Il Nino, but Il Nino is actually one of my favorite bands. Especially, I love their album Confession that came out who knows how long ago in the early 2000s. But if anything, people consider them metalcore, Latin metal, who gives a fuck, but the one thing is that, I mean, Confession was just a great album, and if they're going to be considered metalcore, then it was a good metalcore album, although I will not consider it metalcore. Now, Body Count obviously is very good, because Ice-T is the singer, and of course everyone knows who Ice-T is. He's on Law & Order, and he's on, well, he's a rapper, but a lot of people don't know that he does metal, and he's a big metal fan. So, and I love Body Count, because Body Count are just very underrated. They're very good, more punkish type crossover thrash. So it would have been cool to see them live, and knowing that they recently came back with a new album this year. Now, you know, just the other bands were a lot of core bands, but I'm not going to talk about any hatred about them, because I don't fucking do that anymore. But if anything, I might have been down to see Suicide Silence, and I would pretty much only give them credit because they are, well, the members seem pretty cool. I mean, they don't seem like your typical fucking pretty boy post-hardcore band shit members, but you know, they're from Riverside, I'm from Riverside, but you know, I give them credit because these actually are somewhat talented musicians. I'm pretty sure I've seen what they do outside of Suicide, and I could say that they're actually really good, you know? You can't just look at a band and just say that they're fucking shit because their music might be, but you don't know anything about the members outside of the band. They might do other cool shit. But Suicide might have been decent, I guess, not even decent, but I probably would have been kind of down to see him. But of course, just the lineup was just completely bad. Only 3 bands that I would have for sure have went for. Now, I mean, if we could bring back a lineup something similar to 2012 that was really good, you had Slipknot, Slayer, Motorhead, and Anthrax as the 4 headliners, and then you had even fucking, who else was there? I believe it was, well, actually all the other bands were even core bands too, but you know, if you have 4 good headliners, then you're pretty good, you know, you're set for a Mayhem Fest. But, you know, a lot of people are giving the hatred for Asking Alexander and Amur. I've never heard of Amur, and I really don't want to, because I'm not a fan for anything of deathcore, metalcore, post-hardcore, any of that. And, you know, I mean, the United States, we don't get that great of festivals. It's because all the action and all the good shit happens in fucking Europe and South America. Anywhere outside the United States, you get a good festival. You get Tesco Open Air, Vakken, you get Hellfest, Grindcore, you get Obscene Extreme. Actually, well, that's in the U.S., but they did a Czech Republic show recently. And you got, a bunch of shit ton of good bands on that bill. You have the Heaven and Hellfest, and, you have all these great bands, all these veteran bands that still kick ass to this day. And I just wish that Mayhem could at least do something like that. Like, when are they going to realize that the fans and the people are not looking for any of the core bands that belong to Warped Tour, and that we need bands more like Enslaved or even if they get Deathclock or get some more thrash metal bands, even local thrash to, do the way smaller stages. Shit, get Carcass, get Cannibal Corpse again in the second year in a row, or get more death metal bands too, because they're not realizing that the metalheads who are into the old school shit aren't going to want to see a bunch of core bands on this lineup or on this concert tour. Even get I'd be satisfied if they got Lamb of God back on the tour again, because Lamb of God kick ass, or get Huntress to do the Mayhem for the first time, So it's, stuff like that I just kind of wonder, when are they going to learn? And actually, I heard that San Bernardino's show yesterday was actually quite well. That it was actually one of the biggest Mayhems. At least not since 2012, because 2012, I believe, still reigns as the biggest Mayhem Festival attendance in its history. And the only biggest attendance being in San Bernardino. And I just want to do actually a quick review of a show that I'm actually going to go to in September. And it's going to be Amon Amarth, Sabaton, and Skeleton Witch. Now, all three bands are very fucking great. I love Sabaton, I love Amon Amarth, and Skeleton Witch are really good, but